Solving linear equations in general. We want to solve the following equations. The first one we have is 4t is 32. Now remember, the objective here is to have t as the subject, in other words t equals. What is this 4 doing to the t? It's multiplying it. So do the opposite. Divide both sides by 4. We have to divide this side by 4 to get the t on its own, and once you've decided what you're doing to one side of an equation, you do the same to the other side. So this would give me t. 32 divided by 4 is 8. d take away 5 equals 12. What's the opposite of subtracting 5? It must be adding 5. So we have d minus 5, and I'm going to show here explicitly me adding 5, you don't have to put that step in, is equal to 12, and if I've added 5 to the left, I have to add 5 to the right. So this just leaves me with d. On the other side, I end up with 17. 2x minus 7 equals 17. Well, my first step here is to try and get rid of this 7. Do the opposite. Add 7. And if you do it to that side, you have to do it to the right. So on this side I now have 2x. On this side I have 24. Once again, do the opposite. So we'll divide by 2, and then that gives me x is equal to 12. This is a more complicated type of equation. We have w's on both sides. Now the way to approach this is to consider on the left we've got 4 w's, on the right we've got negative 2 w's. The smaller number of w's is negative 2 w's. So we can move all the w's onto one side by adding 2w to both sides. Now if I add 2w's to this side, I have to add 2w's to this side. And you can now see what we're doing here. So I end up with 6w equals 18. Now just divide both sides by 6, and w is equal to 3. With this equation here, think about what's happened to this f. It's been multiplied by 3, 7 is then subtracted, and finally the whole thing is divided by 5. We undo it in the reverse order. So start by multiplying by 5. So 3f minus 7 over 5, multiply that by 5, and if we do that to the left, we have to do it to the right. So now we have 3f minus 7 equals 20. The next step is to add 7 to both sides. I don't need to show this explicitly, we've seen that before. So 3f is 27, and then divide both sides by 3, and we get that f is equal to 9. This one here has x's on both sides, 2x on this side, and negative 7x on this side. Negative 7 is smaller than 2, so we want to deal with this negative 7x. We can do that by adding 7x's to both sides. So I'll add 7x to the left, and that means that I need to add 7x to the right. And we can see that these will then cancel each other out. 7x and 2x is 9x. So I've got 9x, take away 25, equals 2. Add 25 to both sides. 9x is 27. Divide both sides by 9. X is equal to 3. Now we have brackets as well here, so quite a complicated equation. I'm going to start by expanding the brackets, and then I've got 9x take away 12 is 8x take away 20. So I've got 9x is this side and 8x is this side. Well, 8 is the smaller number, so we'll subtract 8x from both sides. Now I don't need to show this explicitly, we've done it before. So 9x take away 8x is just a single 1x. And of course we haven't touched that 12. By subtracting 8x from this side, all I'm left with is the negative 20. Be especially careful with the sign here. I often see students lose that sign when they get rid of the 8x's. Now we'll add 12 to both sides. Negative 20 add 12 is negative 8. The difficulty with this one is the fractions, but they're easy to deal with. Think of a number you can multiply by that will get rid of both fractions, and that number should be 6. So if I do d take away 8 over 3 and multiply that by 6, that's d minus 3 over 2. Multiply that by 6, and we can see we'll get some cancelling here and here. Now be careful, this 2 needs to multiply all of the d minus 8. So the way to do that is put the d minus 8 in a bracket. And the same here. The 3 multiplies all of the d minus 3. Now expand out. 2d take away 16 is 3d take away 9. Now we've got 3d's and we've got 2d's. 3d's is the larger number. What I'm going to do is just rewrite this, so I've got 3d minus 9 is 2d minus 16. And you can see all I've done is move the left hand side to the right and the right hand side to the left. Now subtract 2d's. 3d minus 2d is a single d. Don't forget the minus 9 is still sitting there. We've subtracted 2d, so all we're left with is negative 16. And then simply add 9 to both sides, and that would give us negative 7. Now this one really is quite a difficult one. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear all the other writing so I've got more space for this one. So I've got 7 over 4e plus 1 is 9 over 2 minus 3e. Now, of course, the problem is the denominator. We can get rid of that in one go here. And what I'm going to do in order to do that is multiply by 4e plus 1 2 minus 3e. Notice that's both of the denominators. I have to do the same on the other side. Like so. Now on this side, this will cancel with this. On this side, this will cancel with this. So I'm left with 7 lots of 2 minus 3e is 9 lots of 4e plus 1. So expanding out, I've got 14 take away 21e is 36e add 9. Now we've got 36 e's and 21 e's. 36 is the larger number. I'm just going to write the right on the left and the left on the right. And the way to get rid of the e's is to add 21 e's to both sides. So 36 add 21, that's 57. So I've got 57 e's add 9. And we're just left with 14 over here because we added 21 e's, which gets rid of these e's. Now take 9 from both sides, and we've got 57e equals 5. And then divide both sides by 57, and e will be equal to 5 over 57. There's nothing wrong with a fraction as an answer. Now our final example here is solve this one for b. So what we want to end up with is b equals, and no b's on the right hand side, all the other letters are on the other side. So let's follow steps that we're used to. So 9b minus 3a is going to be 2db minus dc. Now what I'm going to do is make sure all the b's are on one side. So if I subtract 2db from both sides, I get 9b minus 3a minus 2db, and that's just going to be equal to minus dc. By subtracting 2db off both sides, I've got rid of this one. Now let's add 3a to both sides. So that negative 3a here is going to disappear. But we've added 3a to both sides, so we need 3a on this side. Now we can factorize. So if I write down b, I've got 9 minus 2d in a bracket. And then to get b on its own, just divide both sides by 9 minus 2d, and I get b equals 3a minus dc over 9 minus 2d.